Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Gerber Commander, TFW, and I'm not joined by anyone this week. This is Monday evening, midnight time, 10 past midnight. It's late night. And I wanted to do a quick introduction to the podcast I recorded with Mr. Tricky last night, which was Sunday. Why did I want to do an introduction? Well, pretty much because I forgot a few things that I got and I didn't talk about. And you may be wondering why I'm talking in the way I do, and that's purely because it was late at night when we recorded, which was about 10, and I didn't want to be too loud in case my voice traveled through the walls. I don't need to worry about that here. So I was like, okay, let's just talk quietly, and hopefully I won't wreck anyone and annoy anyone in other rooms and all that jazz. So that's why potentially that is the case. Also, using the Zoom and using the microphones that I talked about earlier, or did tweets about and whatnot, I'll throw in a regret. I don't think I talked to enough new people, so I apologize for that, those who came up and talked to me. Thank you very much. Really appreciated. It was a good time. I had fun. I'm very, very tired now. Very tired. But I feel that I have to do this before being comfortable with going to bed because it is a weekly podcast, and if it's not out on the right day, then it doesn't feel right. It feels like I've cheated people out of stuff. So, what are you gonna do? Oh, I also was gifted, because I didn't talk about this on the what I got. My friend Wayne gave me the Legends Skull Cruncher, which has been something I've been after for a good while. So that was really appreciated. Thank you, Wayne. And I also traded some comics with him for the... Oh, bollocks. What's this? It's either 6 Train or 6 Liner. It's one of the Micromaster Combiner teams. And the problem is there are 2 that are both trains. So it's the one with the orange chest, which I think is 6 Liner. But it could easily be 6 Train, because you might not know this, guys, but Japan likes its trains. You might know that Japan likes a train or 2. Let me lay that butter on that bread that is your ears, if you would. And I think that's everything. I just want to do this quick introduction, though it wasn't really quick. So let's get on with the show, shall we?
Woohoo! So how you doing, Mr. Tricky? Welcome to maybe Moonbase 2, maybe welcome to Kimia. At this point, who knows, right?
Yeah, it's be interesting to see where this actually appears, because we have logistical and health issues, which may cause this to be on one, both, or neither of our feeds.
That's right. That's what happens when Bane comes into the studios of Florida and breaks Mr. Stu's back over his knees again.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay, and there will be an actual podcast, but if not, you're getting this.
Exactly. I decided that I'd have the Holdy mic. And the reason I decided to have the Holdy mic was because I remember what you were like at the panel last year, and you kept doing this with the microphone.
Well, that's because I had Stuart next to me, and I was just like, does Stuart want to talk? Do I talk?
Yeah, it was difficult, and every now and again I noticed some people also the microphone would slip down, and I was like, motherfucker, get that microphone to
eat
that mic.
Yeah, for those of you at home, Andy's gripping the microphone tightly in his left hand, and he's moving it backwards and forwards from his lips.
That's
in
right.
a very seductive manner.
It's right. The best way I've heard the phrase is eat that monkey.
Yeah.
Eat that monkey. So how's it going, Mr. Tricky?
I'm good. I'm tired. I'm mentally okay, but the body is weak.
Yes, the mind is able, but the body is not.
It is not anymore.
No.
No, it is. What is almost 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock, give or take. Yeah.
Yeah, on the last day. Well, the convention has just ended.
Yeah. Well, it ended a while ago. Let's be honest.
It never ends. It never ends.
Because it ended for us a lot earlier than it ended for you. Because the closing ceremony ends at about 5, 6.
6, I think it was. Yeah.
weeks, I think.
Yeah, after that, we then had to break down the main hall.
Yeah, because for those not aware, you may as well introduce yourself, Tricky, and say what the fuck your point was in the convention. That sounds a bit more harsh than it was meant to.
All right,
What's
come
your
on.
fucking point being here?
I'm one of the volunteers. I'm one of the many monkeys that build and then destroy this thing. So Thursday was set up. So literally at 9 a.m. Thursday morning, we all got together in the hall. This chair is really creaky and really annoying me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get off the chair. For those of you listening at home, I'm not throwing the chair. At the on Thursday we started to put the place together. So I was bringing all the tables in, making all the nice little designs and pictures and stuff, so people can actually build the stalls and things.
Right.
That took until sort of, I don't know, probably about 5 o'clock on Thursday. So it's pretty much most of the day.
Okay.
So I actually get all the stuff sorted out so that people could actually get in there. And then today, which was the Sunday, it's pretty much the opposite. So
Right.
6 o'clock after the closing ceremony, get in there, break all the tables down, kick all the traders out, which is not an easy thing to do. I love Tofu.
Yes.
They do great things for charity. They have a lot of robots to pack up.
That's true. Yeah, even at the end of the convention weekend, they've got one?
Yeah, they've made a lot of money.
they
It's going to be a good thing. They sold a lot of robots.
Did they sell Black Zarak out of interest? Not that I was one of the live one, obviously.
Didn't notice. Last time I went past, it was still there, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean to say that somebody's gone past and bought it.
Because, I don't think they were asking for an incomplete Zarak. It was just the body. It had the body and the head, but it didn't have any of the guns, and it didn't have whatever clocker, cog, the gold.
And the feet were 3D printed.
That's right,
Because-
which I don't think is a big deal.
You can't really do anything about that, because even in pack, those things degrade.
Because in my eyes, that would be what a reissue would do anyway, and it means but it didn't have any. I wish they had 3D printed the rest of the accessories, because for 400, just getting a completely incomplete one and you having to do the work yourself, I think was maybe a bit too much.
Yeah,
And if they had it complete and had it said it was 3D printed, I think it would have gone a lot faster, and you could have raised the price on
I
it.
think there's a reason why I didn't go. And I also think it's probably priced about right, just because...
For the amount of stuff it had on it, yes.
Yeah,
certainly.
and also for what it actually cost to get here.
Yeah.
Because, with import fees and
Of course.
Yahoo fees in Japan and things like that,
yeah.
those things aren't cheap.
No, no.
Where else are you going to get that much of one?
Yeah, but it's totally understandable as well at the same point why it hasn't gone.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, it's a lot of extra work for you to
It's
make
a
it
big ticket
presentable.
item. If that is your jam,
Yes.
you want it to be as complete as possible.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can see both sides.
But I suppose you mentioned it's a big ticket item. They sold a Victory Saber set, didn't they, in box?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that was around the same price, like 400, 500, maybe
Yeah,
more.
again, but it's in box.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, I don't know, was it fully complete?
I imagine it would be. I didn't look
No,
that closely,
me
but
neither.
I assume so.
But because it was in box as well, it kind of
exactly.
ups that.
It's unlikely that someone pieced that stuff together.
Yeah.
So I doubt it. But no, I mean, ultimately, I think it's been a very successful convention from the kind of like setup and breakdown and people shopping stuff.
I see. What you're saying is because the stuff you did, it was a good show.
Yeah.
I see. Everything else.
I'm Austin. I don't care.
Like the sound system, the handling of the guests, that was all shit. But the stuff I did, that was
those people they're just coasting on our coattails. That's all
they don't know what we did. The blue collar tricky workers.
the pink collar people out there. Yeah. But what about you, Andy? What did you think? 'Cause you've seen the other side of this.
Yeah, I suppose I did. My weekend it's been entertaining. It's been good, but I will fully admit I'm not one to enjoy grabbing people friends. I like doing the interviews, but I'm not one to go up and be, hello there, you probably don't know my shitty little podcast, Aaron Archer, would you like to do one? I did do that with Kay.
Yeah.
And she wasn't confident enough, or comfortable, I think it's probably the better term. She wasn't comfortable enough with doing it, and I was like, that's perfectly understandable. If someone from a different country said, come on to my podcast and talk in my language, I'd be like, are you fucking joking? Get out of my face.
It's a big ask.
It is a very
especially
big
when
ask.
you're currently employed by them.
Yes.
And you might say something that you weren't entirely sure about what you were saying.
Of course, yeah. It's totally understandable.
Totally.
But I was still like, damn, I'd like to have gotten an interview.
I think it's also... I think it puts the guests in a bit of an awkward situation sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they're literally in the contract to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And when third parties are kind of asking them to do stuff during that time,
Yeah.
I think depending on the person, they may feel awkward about that.
Yeah, then in some ways there almost needs to be an already established relationship.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's difficult.
It's a grey area and something that possibly needs to be thought about a little bit.
Yeah, I would have liked to have gotten to arrange something through the convention to do it, but obviously to be like, hey, pay attention to me when there's like, do the guests, get the tickets ready, get this sorted, get this sorted.
Yeah.
To also be like having a third party outside without being like, well, do something for my podcast that may not actually benefit your show is, again, like you say, a lot to ask.
Yeah. From the little I know about what's happened this year as well, I think it's not quite been as straightforward as usuul. So I think there's been less time to actually organise things like that. Certainly last year, there was a, hey, if you want to talk to people,
that is true.
Contact us. Whereas
I won't delve too much into it because I don't know what you can and can't say. Obviously, or what even
I won't say what I can't say.
There you go. That's perfect.
Billy wears knickers. No.
No, to be fair, Billy doesn't wear anything.
No, this is true.
He's just he's flying commando all the time because he never knows. He never knows.
They are strict.
He's always prepared though. Pants off. But for the rest of the weekend, I have enjoyed myself. But like I say, I felt a bit lazy in a lot of ways because I haven't been going out there and getting the interviews. But I did get Thu, which I was quite happy about. Thu's incredibly nice.
Yeah.
Very nice, and he's super accommodating to all the people. Like, he looked tired, and I understand why, because we interact with a lot of people. He has to, because of who he is and how everybody knows him, he interacts with everybody. He's
got such a high profile that everybody's like, oh, hi, Thu, hey, good to see you.
Yeah, so, like, even though he hasn't been a guest at the show, he's technically worked the show.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Jim Svensson.
Yes. The difference is Jim is just, like, if he was distilled into an element, it would just be cocaine or speed.
Yes, yeah, he is an amphetamine. Yeah,
he has all of the energy, and I wonder, like, he's like the perfect father because he never runs out. He's like the Energizer Bunny.
You weren't at the concert, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Before the concert started, they were playing various music through the speakers.
Mm-hmm.
There was little kids in there. There must be
like how little?
Like sort of like 4 or 5.
Okay,
so
yeah.
it was like
pretty
mobile,
well.
kind of like jumping up and down. And the kids were just jumping down to the music, and then Jim started dancing with the little kids, and he got higher and higher and higher energy into like literally running around in circles and throwing arms and legs in the air. And he looked like he was on a great time. The kid looked like he was like the greatest day of his life.
Yeah.
And it's like, how have you got this much energy?
And you can imagine, like, I can imagine as a parent, you would have just been looking at Jim like, how are you doing this?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Yes, you are the drugs, aren't you? You are all the drugs.
Like, if I lived near Jim and I had children, I'd be like, take my kids. Babysit my children, please. I need the break.
Yeah. Here's $20. Take them to the
Yeah.
do something with them.
Buy yourself something nice. Tricky keeps hitting his head on the back of a desk, which isn't good.
Every time Andy makes me laugh, my head goes back in his desk. That's a mistake.
Good. But no, I did the interview with Thu. That was a load of fun. He was worried that it was boring because we got technical with like video making and stuff.
Oh, did you get granular?
We talked about video formats and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't want people to be bored. And I was like, it's my podcast. I don't give a crap. Because I found it interesting. And I know like anybody else who does anything video-wise might be interested. I like to believe as well that anybody who has an actual interest, like more than I just like your videos, an actual interest in Thu and his production, which I would say is more, it shows more of who Thu is rather than just enjoying a video. Like if you enjoy how he's made it, that's enjoying almost like the person because he's put more of his soul into it and a lot of his time into it.
It also, you get some people out there who don't understand and they're like, why do you do my videos?
Yeah.
Because I've got a certain standard and it takes a certain time.
Yeah, and it's because they haven't done the kind of work, it's totally understandable, but it's also at the same time like heavy sigh.
All you do is you turn the video on with someone.
Yeah, you just turn the camera on, boom, it's done.
You could YouTube live stream this, I don't know what you bother.
I did want to get Maz and Sixo. They did a comic, not a comic panel, you idiot, a photography panel. But by the time I'd done a Thu interview, they had pretty much I had to leave fairly early, and it was a shame because I was quite interested. I I was worried at the same time because I was worried that I was just going to make them go, say what you said on the panel again in a slightly different way for me.
The original file they had for the AV stuff didn't work.
What do you mean the file?
They had some audiovisual stuff on screen.
Oh, the projector stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was splitting the files. So you were
really?
getting half of the stuff, and it was just like, I can't talk about photography when this is so messed up.
Yeah.
So it was panicking a little bit. I think they got it fixed in the end.
No, it seemed to run okay. The only issue they had was Maz had a bit of feedback on the microphone. It seemed.
Yeah, that panel room audio setup wasn't great.
It happened frequently, did it? It wasn't.
I don't think it was just that. There were different problems. There was one where I forget which panel it was in, but the third mic. It was a TF UK panel.
Oh, right.
The first two mics were balanced. The third mic was really quiet. So there'd be like two people having a conversation, and there'd be like somebody going, I missed the end of that, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an okay panel, the TF UK panel.
All right, okay.
I'm not involved in that.
Were you not running it, but you were
I was
technical
on the bar
background
for it,
guy?
basically,
Oh, right,
yeah.
dog guy. Okay.
So I don't know much about those guys, but they seem like a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't think the dealer, like, this isn't a criticism. Well, it's a minor criticism of the dealer room, but it didn't seem to be a lot, at least for me, a lot of deals going on. And I heard from a few people that went to a lot of deals, and of course that's perfectly fine. That, you know, dealers do what they want, they sell what they want, and that stuff. But it seems like this year more than other years, it's been very much this is the price.
Yeah.
You don't want it, you go.
We talked about this earlier in the day.
Yes.
And I know why now.
Oh, right.
The dealers have done very well.
Right.
So they don't need to discount.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
We've got more people here, more people. And as I said to somebody earlier, if you can't sell Transformers at Transformers convention, you really shouldn't be in the toy business.
Yeah.
Because this is literally shooting fish in the battle.
Yeah.
And yeah, they've all done very well. So they've decided that, you know, we'll take the profit, we'll take this other stuff back, we'll sell it when we can.
So what you're telling me is we need to wish for the sellers to do poorly.
Yes.
To then get deals.
That's how we do. What we need to do is start a horrible rumour about one of the sellers.
Yeah.
So that everyone goes to the other ones.
Yeah. See, this idea I've just created is the idea of drilling a hole in your boat for a glass of water. You get your glass of water, but something's going to go wrong along the way. Maybe not straight away, but it'll get you. It'll get you good.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
What did you get then for the show then? If you remember, because granted, we're not in your room, so we don't have your stuff close at hand.
No, I'm actually glad we're not in my room, which I'll tell you why later. Yeah, I got a Predaking. I'm doing this by memory, and I'm trying to do it by size class. I can never remember the names of these figures, because the names of these figures are wrong, so I'm going to get these wrong, but it's intentional.
Okay.
I got Bludgeon.
Yes.
I got Submariner.
Yes.
I got Landmine.
Oh, yeah, you had to get the Wave 2 stuff, didn't you?
Yeah, it's a funny story there, Andy, because that wave doesn't exist anywhere near me.
Yeah.
I got Octopunch and the other one.
I know what it is. I can help you if you need it. Bombburst.
That's the power, yeah. So I got those. I got the not Predacons, the Terracons.
Right.
Apart from Rippersnapper, because my Rippersnapper lives in Florida.
Hey.
With a strange, it's very sad.
Hey.
So yeah, my Terracons are going to have just 3 limbs for a while. I bought. I got Swoop.
Oh, okay.
And if you want to hear the story of why that Swoop is interesting, you'll have to listen to the next Give Me a podcast, because I'll save that story for there.
All right.
It's something I'll talk about that. But yeah, that's kind of messed up. Yeah, what else did I buy? I bought Hunger, who was kind of annoyed about.
Why is that?
Because, well, they had him for 35 quid, which I thought was
That's
too
a bit
much.
high.
Yeah, I thought that was way too much.
Yeah.
And I wasn't particularly. I was left with. We've talked about this before on, not on our podcast, but in our general friendship. If we can call it that. I'm at the point now where I just want to get out of this.
Yes.
The Power of the Primes is probably, if not a stopping point for me, somewhere where I will pause and be very selective about what I buy from Siege.
Yeah.
Because it's not entirely to my taste. So this is probably the place where I just become a masterpiece collector.
That's fair enough, yeah.
And if I do that, maybe I go back and get the Beast Wars stuff. Well, that's something I'm kind of thinking about. We'll see what happens. It'll very much depend on what happens with the next reveals for that line.
Yeah.
If the Decepticons are awesome, I'll probably be back in.
Yeah, we were talking about this again earlier, and we assumed that if it does happen, if they are revealed, it'll be New York Comic Con. We've been to so many of these, and we know that at least until recently, it seems that the Hasbro UK brand just didn't care because they didn't have to care.
Yeah.
Because they would, like we said to each other and to the gentleman, they were just a distribution point and nothing else. And now because of Toys R Us closure, the hand's been forced to actually give a shit about what people want.
There was a rumor that they were coming here to canvas people.
Did that happen?
If they did, I didn't see anybody, but that's not to say it didn't happen.
Of course. I mean, you've been busy doing stuff.
I've been all over the place.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, the rumor is, and I think it's fair to report it as rumor because we don't know, but it's what people are saying, is that because Toys R Us left a big gap in the market, Hasbro are trying to work out how they fill this.
Yeah.
And that may be using independent toy sellers, it might be just going to Smith's or just going to Amazon.
Yeah.
It might be to set up a Hasbro toy shop in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, if it's true, that's only a good thing for the Transformer fans.
It's frankly shocking that they understand that the UK is a market, because they don't seem to have understood that for 35 years.
Yeah, I think, but like we say, I think that's just because they didn't have to. They should have, because a business should be looking at the market and judging, like, hey, we could actually make money from people. But
I think
now,
Toys R Us have just kind of taken that from them, so they just went, oh great, you're doing that? Perfect.
Yeah. Who you've got toys, you ship them. If you don't ship them, who gives a shit? We've already given you the toys.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Did I get anything else?
A Republican? No, you've got. Did you get blasted? No, that's.
I'll tell you three things I have bought, which I not today, but I shouldn't have bought, because I shouldn't have bought. Oh god, what was his name? Slugslinger.
Right.
Should not have imported him from Mandarake.
Okay.
Because I spent about 35 quid, I think, to get him here.
Right.
And these 30 quid today at Kapow.
But to be fair, Slugslinger, did you do that recently?
No, I've had him for 6 months or so.
I know it's fair. But I know what you mean. It's one of it. You look at it and you go,
yeah.
Because I did keep looking at Trigger Happy, but I'm like, I've got him. And it's like, but you don't have the one you really want, do you? And I'm like, no.
Again, the Kapow did so well, they didn't need a discount. So.
That's the thing. That's kind of why I just broke down and just got Pounce and Wingspan, because I paid 30 for them.
Yeah.
And 30 is probably what I'd have to pay online, I'm thinking.
I think, yeah, with...
This is, you know how I always say, it's really good not to have a mobile phone. This is the one time where it's actually useful, because I could go online and check prices and go, oh, this was a bad move.
Because I pre-ordered mine from HLJ.
Yes.
And I think I paid 28.
Yeah. It was including shipping?
Yeah, it was shipping and taxes, yeah.
Oh, see, if I had done it, it wouldn't have included taxes, so it probably would have been hit with another £11. Yeah. Because that's what usually happens to Andy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was okay with that. I didn't really care about that. I shouldn't have bought the the Grotesque.
Right.
That I bought from Amazon. I shouldn't have bought the Shuttle Blastoff.
Yeah.
Because they were 30 quid on Kapow. I've currently spent $25 each on those, and now I've got to start with shipping. So
yeah,
it's hit or miss.
But at least, I mean, there were a lot more of those figures here than I thought. I thought they would be like not limited, but fairly quickly gone.
Yeah, I didn't think that they'd have the amounts that they have.
No, I was shocked.
In hindsight, probably should have realised that it's really simple for a company to go to Amazon and order a case.
Yeah.
And just pay the shipping.
Yeah.
And just, amortize that over the entire contents of the case, and then...
But usually those figures... I'm sure, have we had figures like them here in the past?
You gotta remember, it's the first time that...
That's what I thought, because RC doesn't count, because that was a con exclusive originally.
There was no RTs or Grotesques.
Not this year.
No.
We have had them before, I'm sure, though, right?
No, we can't have them.
Did we not have last year?
That's after August last year. That was like...
Really?
Yeah, that was Christmas-ish, I think.
You're probably right.
I'd have to go back and check. Grotesque was in Toys R Us really briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's between this year and last year.
Right. Okay.
I think I'll have to go back and check. Prove me wrong, listeners. But yeah. So at 8 o'clock this morning, when I finished setting up, I went and had a conversation with a couple of people, and I bought most of my stuff then. Literally in one swoop, got it all done.
Yeah.
So whilst I was doing that, I picked up a Jazz. Because
It was like £5 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, there's the thing. It was £10 this morning.
Right.
It was literally, they had, I don't know, 20 of them or something like that.
Mm.
And I went, do you know what? I'm okay with £10 for a deluxe. I'm fine with that. That's okay. So I bought it. I took everything back to my room, didn't even think about it.
Right.
Then about, I want to say about 12:30ish, friend of the show, Colin Duff, came by
Yes.
and showed me the stuff that he just bought at discount,
Yeah, right.
including his £5 jazz.
Yeah.
At which point I kind of bit my tongue and just went, I can't really go back and complain,
No.
but I really want to.
It's one of those. It's because you have no idea when these things are going to get discounted.
No.
And it's like you say, it is just a pain when you've bought the same figure from the same store, and there's a guy just an hour later, maybe less.
No, it was a day in the back.
Okay,
But
well, that was your own fault then.
The thing is that it's somebody who I've had quite a good relationship over the weekend. I've helped him get stuff and sort stuff out.
Yes.
And that's the slack for the show that I'm no longer listening to, is I don't care. Yeah, because I've helped him out over the weekend. He's been really nice to me, and it's just like you couldn't hook me up.
Yeah, man.
So yes, I'm kind of. Oh yeah, two more things I got: Cindersaw and Outback,
Oh, yes.
because I wanted those.
Yes.
And of
No
course,
Beachcomber. Because I heard Beachcomber went fairly quick. Or do you already have Beachcomber?
Yeah, I've got Beachcomber.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Never
I've
mind.
got Beachcomber. Beachcomber was one of the last cheap eBay figures.
Oh.
Him and Slash, they popped up for about a week at like $7.50, and then the market corrected itself very quickly, and it went up to about $12.50.
Typical.
It was I was one of those. I really wanted Slash.
Yeah.
I was dying for a Slash.
Oh.
Cheap pop. So I was kind of watching eBay for that, and then when it popped up, I just ordered the thing straight away.
Right.
So yes, I got the Cindersaw, which is the repaint of that, which looks really nice, and I'm convinced we're going to get a flame feather and a spark sparkler.
Gruff's, if he's listening, is screaming because he knows what the real answers are.
Yeah. So I think that's everything I bought. While we're on the Firecons, we did see some really nice candles, didn't we?
Yeah, did you find them?
No, they were either sold out or they were a gift. I think they were sold out.
I thought they were a gift because they were given to the guy that birthday was.
Yeah. I think they were selling them.
Right.
But I think they were really cool.
They were. Was they all? No, because they weren't all Firecons. Because
No.
I noticed there was a Lego Man shaped one, and I don't know if there was anything else as well or not.
I think he had a range of things, but because
Right.
they were cheap and they were really well made,
Yeah.
it just went really quickly.
Yeah.
Because when I did make it into the Forge, there were 2 or 3 empty places where people had clearly just sold out.
That's good for them.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Very much so.
There was some actually stuff that you did forget to talk about.
Yeah.
You got some Gundam kits.
Oh, I did, yes.
Yeah, 'cause I helped you
I
out
also
for
went to Tofu and got a swerve.
A swerve.
Yeah.
Which swerve?
The cheap one.
Oh, right. Okay.
They looked so sad and lonely.
Ah,
It was
right.
just down by the front.
I thought you were going to wait to see for the reissue one. I know you did that. You wanted that for Tailgate, but I thought you were going to do that for like all the mini bots. I just assumed.
Yeah, I had a bit of a. I'm really tired. I had a bit of a mental lapse because I could see. You can see what you're trying to achieve.
Yes.
Right. I had this image of all the IDW minibots
Yeah.
stood next to all the G1 counterparts. And I
Ah.
thought, that'd be a nice little display, like
Yeah,
a now
yeah.
and then type of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I haven't got a G1 swerve. I'll get G1. It's like £5. It's Tofu. It's great. Throw some money at them. I'll get that.
Yeah.
I can stand next to the IDW one. And then as I'm walking away after buying it, I just went, this is when they're reissuing. I should have
Yeah.
bought a Hoffer.
At least it went to charity.
Yeah, exactly. I
At
don't
least it
mind.
went to
I
charity.
fiddled with it for a while. It's actually in good nick.
Oh, that's good.
I'm quite happy with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I bought some Gundam kits.
Yes.
I bought an awesome set of pandas.
You did? Yeah, the little bag guys, the petite guys, I
Yes.
think they're called?
Yeah, they come with little signs.
They do.
I was kicking myself a little bit because I should have bought 3.
Why is that?
Because I bought a blue and a white one.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was kind of like walking away, I realised that what I can do is I can part swap them.
Right.
So I can have a blue and white and a white and blue.
Mm-hmm.
And this won't mean anything to anybody else, but my football team plays in white and blue and white.
Right.
So it's the home and away kits. So I can literally do these pairs up in this nice little replica of the shirts and maybe get some new decals and put it on
Oh,
there.
that's pretty cool.
So I can mess with that. But I should have got another one for my desk.
Mm-hmm.
Because me and Wayne were talking, and it's just like, because Wayne was telling us a story this weekend about how his staff won't talk to him after a certain time
Yes.
until he's eaten.
Yes.
Which is Wayne's is constantly. But I did think I could put that on my desk with a little sign,
Mm-hmm.
and then I could just be like,
Go away. Yeah.
And I thought that might be kind of cute.
Yeah.
So I might actually look online and see how much they are there.
They're not much.
No.
They're like 300 to 500 yen or something.
Yeah.
Something silly.
This might interest you. This
I
may
know.
not happen, but I'll say it. I was talking to the guy there on the Gundam Mad desk. He's
Yes.
a really nice guy.
Yes, he was talking about doing building things, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was talking about having a workshop
Yeah, right, yes.
potentially where somebody would come in, get a free Gundam kit, they'll build it with you, and then maybe you come back to my store and buy some stuff. And I don't know if they'll do it or not. I'm sure there's a million reasons why not to, and a million reasons why to. So you might see it last year, you might not. We'll see. But Andy will have to remind me what I bought because I've totally forgotten already. It was a real grade.
Real 1:144 scale, real grade. I think it's called the Banshee. It's the black version of the Unicorn from the Unicorn something Universal Century Unicorn.
Yeah.
My Bobby.
See, this is what.
No, you didn't get that because you went
No,
for the
we
other
looked
one.
at that. It was too expensive.
Yes,
Yeah.
you went for the the Build Strike. I think it's called the either the first or the second Gundam from Gundam Build Fighter Season 1.
Hey Andy,
Hello.
it's blue, white, and red.
I mean, who would have guessed a Gundam would be blue, white, and red?
Yeah, I. This is why I asked you to help me because I don't know anything about these things.
No.
I just wanted something that's more complex than the master grade ones I've had.
High grade.
The
ones.
high grade ones I've had previously.
Yeah, but the problem was he wanted a master grade originally, but the master grades that were there were not very exciting Gundams.
No, and not. Probably not fair to say they're not well priced, but they were expensive.
Some of the more expensive ones that I think were on the back shelf, I think they were perfect grade ones.
Yeah.
Maybe either that or they must have been perfect grades because they were in much bigger boxes.
Yeah.
I don't like perfect grades, but some people do.
I'd like to do one eventually.
Yeah.
I'm kind of working my way through that. I want to find the scale that has enough complexity that I feel like I'm not getting ripped off.
Yeah.
Because the master grade one, not master. I keep saying this.
High grade.
The high grade ones were too quick.
Right.
I put on an episode of an American TV show, 42 minutes, and I did it in sort of like half an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you were bombing through
I
that.
just went straight through them. They're logical. I make perfect sense to me. They're great.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like they only cost me like $8.50 or something like
That's
that.
about right,
I got them from Amazon.
Because of course you can get bigger, more complex high grades.
Yeah.
That are obviously more expensive and stuff, but I understand wanting to like broach the other scale ranges as well, just to, like you say, get the feel of like, what do I like most?
Yeah, 'cause we did talk about this, that I could have gone for the same grade, but bigger, and see if that was finding kind of better, but I felt I was getting more of the same. So I'd rather see if the more complex thing is something I'm interested in, or if I just lose my mind and break with a hammer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we picked up that, and I think that's everything I bought.
That's the stuff I saw you get.
Yeah, I bought. I went to see Lou Stringer because Lou Stringer was the artist for Combat Colin and Robo Capers.
Yeah, that's right. You were super pumped when he was announced.
Yeah, he was. I've talked to many people this weekend. The great thing about this weekend is that it's just a social event for a lot of people.
Yes,
and it's great to talk to people new and old. And we kind of had a conversation. And Lou Stringer is one of those guys for me who brings on the warm and fuzzies.
Oh, good.
Because going to my grandparents on a Saturday morning with my mum and be given a comic so you can read that and be quiet whilst the owls talk. That was my Saturday mornings till I was probably about 10 or 11.
Right.
So reading that and kind of going through RoboCapers, because RoboCapers was the thing that I didn't get the comedy sometimes, because it'd be not an adult joke, but a more like a dad joke, basically.
Right.
And sometimes as a kid, you don't get it.
Sure, yeah.
So I'd show it to my grandma, and my granddad would say, I don't understand why this is funny. And they kind of like explain it to me, or they go, it's not funny. So that is the kind of intergenerational kind of like conversation that, now that not all those people are with you anymore, it's kind of nice to kind of go back and have that conversation. It's just like, I remember somebody explaining this to me.
Yeah.
So I bought his first 2 versions of his collected scripts. There's a third one still to come, which I'll buy another day. And he's a really nice guy.
Cool.
Had a conversation with him, explained the story to him, and he seemed to be happy that it was kind of bringing people joy.
Yeah.
He signed it, dedicated it, and it was a nice meeting. I didn't embarrass myself.
That you know of.
That I know of. I didn't embarrass myself with Margaret Scott.
You didn't pull your pants?
No. No, I denied her entry to the hall.
Yes, that's right. I was there. I watched you do
Yeah,
that.
she didn't have a pass, so I said, "Where's your pass?" And she started fiddling with a handbag. Then I went, "Oh my god, that's Margaret."
Yeah, when you did it, I thought you were joking.
No, I was on,
And I
I was on full mode.
I thought you were going to stop, and I was like, well, it's too late for me to jump in and say, hey, don't worry about it, bro. So I was just like, well, I'll just stand here and watch.
See, what you should have done, you should have jumped in and gone, "Oh, wait, man, that's Margaret."
And she would have been like, I know who that asshole is. Or I've heard of that asshole before. It's Andy. Woo.
Yeah, so that was embarrassing.
Yes.
But apart from that, that was my kind of weekend.
That's not too bad.
No, it was okay.
Though you haven't got trash. You haven't really got any decent trash, which you usually pick up.
It comes back to what we were talking about before, about there wasn't really any deals.
No.
And Toifu sold so much stuff that they didn't... They also... Personally, I think it was a mistake, because I think having Toifu's stall where it was, backing onto the audience...
It was a terrible idea, because the chairs were there was the chairs, a really small gap, and then Toifu's table. And Toifu has usually been on the inside lane opposite Kapow, and that's the best. I mean, that's arguably, as Tricky opens the drink, you might hear it as you like. That's arguably the most busy lane.
Yeah.
Why do you know why it was decided to put them facing? Because that was just a
No, not clue. That was all kind of happening to me as
I never think that's a good place to have a store. Like,
No.
the only store I think that should be there, and it's no slight against it, is the TFNation store.
Yeah.
That's the only one.
But I couldn't get underneath Toifu, which is where you get the junk.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, I couldn't get the kind of...
I think they had most of the buckets of junk behind them anyway.
Yeah, I don't think it was accessible as yet.
Yeah.
Again, I think that's when they cleared off the top that they kind of pulled that stuff out, just so they've got something.
Yes.
And they didn't clear off the top. They did this very well, but didn't clear off the top, so it's not that.
There's still a decent chunk of stuff there, which is fine. It'll be there next year then.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's all I got. Yeah. So what did you get?
I got a few bits. Now, when I say Micromasters, I'm not going to go through and name them, because I don't fucking know their names. Micromasters.
I got this little one and this little one.
I got this grey one and this grey one. What happened was I found one of the Decepticon Combiner Minicon teams, which are the ones where you have a front half and a back half of the vehicle mode and you push them together.
Yeah.
And I saw this guy, this arsehole, this motherfucker ahead of me, who goes into a parts box just full of just shit.
Yeah.
And he picks out pretty much the Decepticon. I don't know what the team's called, but I just call it the Decepticon Siege Combiner Group.
Yeah.
Which is they actually have weapons on the back of them. So there's like an anti-aircraft gun on the one. There are the stealth bomber guys who were in the IDW comics till all one.
Oh yeah.
It's that team.
Yeah.
And the other team is another grey set, but with a massive purple cannon on the back. And I was like, motherfucker, I want those. So I thought, okay, maybe they'll have something left in there. I think he got some other ones. They did have nearly the entire team that guy had got. The only ones that they were missing was the one that has the massive purple cannon on the back.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, at least I can get these two, and theoretically, I might be able to get it cheaper than buying them all together.
Yeah, and looking for a part of a set on eBay is possible.
Well, it's still technically two figures I'd need to find.
Right, yeah.
Because I didn't find either of those two or the purple gun, because I did see this set of all 6 of them technically, and it was a 30 quid or more set on another store, where I paid £2 for each of the individual combiners.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a...
Yeah, so it scales obviously, but it was fairly decent. I got the Battle Patrol, which is the army one. I was a little bit annoyed because I didn't want to spend £10 on it, even though I think that's about the current asking price for it anyway. I didn't want to spend £10 on it because I already owned 2 of them, and I think I lost the other 2 as a child because I don't ever remember owning them. Ever. Like, I was like, this isn't a set. Then I look online and it's like, it's the only way you could have got these, you idiot. So I did spend £10 technically on 2 figures, but I've got 2 other figures which I might replace with my original ones depending on how good they are.
Yeah.
I got Pounce and Wingspan, as I mentioned earlier. I picked up the Prime Masters just on the basis that because you've had such difficulty getting Wave 2, I didn't have difficulty getting them. But when you asked me if I saw them again, I never saw them again.
Yeah.
So like, okay. I thought if I just get Wave 3, I'm not worrying about it. And technically, they're only £6.70.
Yeah, I thought they were well
£6.70
priced.
each.
Yeah, it was
take?
3 for £20.
It was 3 for £20. So
Yeah.
I think it was like something like that.
Well, 7 would be 21. So yeah.
Yeah, because they were £7 each
£6.33,
on
yeah.
another. I think In Demand Toys had them for £7 each. Kapara
Yeah.
had them for 20 for the set, and I was like, okay, buy them, get them out of the way. Don't need to worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
Sorted. So I got those 3. I haven't played with any of my toys, by the way.
I haven't
so.
opened anything though.
No, and I don't want to take them downstairs to play with them either, because I don't want the
Yeah.
fact that then bring them upstairs.
Yeah, I stole stole a box that was used for t-shirts.
All right.
So I've got a massive brown box full of toys that haven't been opened.
Ooh, oh well, that's for tomorrow's fun.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably later than that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Tomorrow is probably driving home, getting in,
Yeah.
maybe podcasting with Stu if Stu's available,
Yes.
having a bath, and
Yeah.
go to bed.
I do not blame you for
Yeah.
that at all. My biggest purchase was the Kazama picture I paid
Oh,
for.
yes.
It was a body one. Have you seen it?
Yeah, she showed me as I was there when you got it.
Oh, I'm an idiot. I apologise. For those not aware, it was a body shot of Typhus from Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah.
It was really good. Now, originally, what happened was I was like, okay, I'll get a head. Adam, who do I want? And he's like, I don't fucking know. Help me pick a character. So we went through and we picked Typhus. And I was like, yeah, this is a good choice. Then I went, I actually have some money. Why do I want just a head one? I actually have money this year. Like, why not splash out? So, okay, send her an email, get a body shot. She was fine with it. I was like, phew. Then I was like, straight after that email sent, I was like, he's not my favourite Space Marine. I was like, God damn, why didn't I think of Azek Araman, who's been my favourite for the longest time? And I was like, motherfucker, I can't send her another email now to say, oh, well, you know how I said change it to make more money,
Yeah.
which makes sense. That makes more sense, because
Yeah.
she's like, more money? Yes, please. But then to go, I also wanted to be somebody else. I was like, yeah, no.
It goes one of two ways, does that?
Yeah.
It's either like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
handy.
or it goes, yeah, sure, but in the back she's like, this piece of shit.
He's going to email me again in a week. I know
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It's just like 3 days to the convention. You better not change his
Yeah,
fucking mind
yeah.
again. So I was like, you know what? I've asked for that. I'll stick with it.
It gives you something else to go to next time.
Exactly, and I'm really happy. Like I said, it might sound like I'm not happy with it. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It turned out better than I ever expected it to turn out. So, like you say, I've got something to go for next time. If I get him for the commissions, then I thought, well, that could be the. I thought, okay, I've got Typhus, which is Nurgle's kind of representative in the Warhammer world. Azek Araman, which is Zinch's, and I was like, well, then in the future I could get Khan the Betrayer for Khorne, then I could get Lucius the Eternal for Slanesh, and I was like, oh, that would be quite a nice display. And again, it gives me something to aim for.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy with that, because usually I've missed out on Kaizama. It's the first bit of Kaizama artwork I've got, commission at least. And I think that's it. I think that's the breadth of what I got this year. So it's maybe less monetary. Actually, I haven't been able to spend a lot of Dodos on TFNations in the past. So I think maybe this rounds out to about what I usually spend, even if I had more.
So far, I bought one drink in the bar.
Everyone's else will eat
And
shit.
it wasn't for me. Somebody gave me what they class as a Junker Soundwave. What I class as a G1 Soundwave.
Right.
He didn't want it anymore because the door sticks slightly when you press the
the cassette door.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because the only one that I've got, the cassette door is literally cracked across the corner.
Oh.
So I'm like, that's better than what I've got. What do you want for it? And he went, just take it. It's like, no, I can't just take it. What do you want? Buy me a drink. Buy me a drink. It's the Hilton. That's so yes, I bought him a drink, and I've got a nice G1 Soundwave.
That's good.
It's a bit floppy, but it's fine.
Yeah. Well, that just means he's been loved. And I suppose if you have to, you can throw on some floor polish or something to tweeten him up.
Yeah, absolutely. Tweet. Yeah, but I mean, as ever, this convention is more about kind of meeting people.
Of course, yeah. And probably, I always have the problem of going up to new people and talking to them. It's always been my thing.
Yeah.
Because I worry, very much like you, and you've talked about this before. You worry that you hung on to me, and I always worry that I hang on to other people. And it's just one of those things that people say, "Oh, it's not that bad. Just get over it." And it's like, yeah, but it's a thing It's stuck in the back of my head all the time. Going, no.
It's a bit like telling a bulimic, "Don't why are you throwing up, you little skinny?"
You're just gonna eat again anyway. Why are you being sick?
Yeah,
it's just one of the. It's a stupid thing, but it's always going to be there.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
you know, I have met a few people, not a huge amount, but it was nice to see the people. But a lot of people who I usually would hang out with and talk to weren't here. So, and you know, that's no one's fault but Mikey's, because he went to 5,000 weddings this year, and he spent $2 billion on flights, and he thought, oh, I don't want to come to TFNation. I hate everybody there. I do.
yeah.
That's his Irish voice, by the way. Tell me about it. I think that's all we've really been up to, because I didn't go to a huge amount of panels. I've mentioned that.
Yeah.
And I've just been chilling out. I didn't see any guests. I saw Kai, and that was it.
Okay.
Haven't seen anybody else. Not because I hate them with a deep, horrible passion, but I do. But I don't. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't have the inclination this year to go up. I don't think I had like something in the back of my head that said, I have something interesting to talk to you about, and I don't want to just go up there and go, hi.
I mean, as they said, because this year was a G2 year, and G2 has no cartoon.
Yeah.
There's no kind of like voice actors you can kind of relate to this, so they kind of invited people who...
It was a loose guest list.
Exactly, yeah. There was no underlying theme behind it. It was just like, what about this guy? What about this person? What about this girl?
And the big one, which was Stan Bush, was somewhat thing I had no interest in, though it seems like it was a fucking ridiculous success.
It was, yeah, the concert was a success from the planning and execution standpoint,
Yeah.
which was really gratifying, because I was worried about that for a long time.
Yeah.
Because there were certain things which had to happen in a very small space of time.
Yes.
And credit to the people who organised it, it went off like clockwork.
Yeah.
And it worked really well.
And everybody was happy. He told me that you saw like a dude with tears in his eyes.
There was a guy who was pressed up against the barrier when they were playing Dare.
Yeah.
And he was literally, wasn't even looking at the band anymore, he was just looking down at the ground, and there were just tears coming out of his eyes. He was so happy.
That's nice.
It was really nice, and
Yeah.
it was just like, I really like this song. It's got emotional context for me because of, you know, the movie, and
Of course.
it's just been a good song.
Yeah.
But also my friends have told them what it means to them. Like Adam always says that, was it something the Hedgehog where he couldn't beat the level until he put Dare on?
That's right.
And he
Yes,
just
and
blasted
yeah,
through there. It's
smashed
like,
it.
that's a nice little story, yeah. It was really good. He played all the kind of hits that people would expect. He played a couple of album tracks which went over fine. Because I was a bit worried that he'd play something and everyone just go, don't play this. But now it worked really well, and everyone was safe, which is the main
That's
thing.
the main thing, yeah. Yeah.
It's a bit odd because as a kind of general crowd, we're all kind of geeks. I mean, there's some people who like their music and really are into their bands and go to all the concerts, and you could see them at the front kind of pressed up and just kind of like throwing themselves about,
Yes.
as you'd expect. But that was a very small population of that.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people there. That was their first concert. And
Yeah,
they were unsure what to do.
Yeah, yeah. If it's your first one, it's like...
Well, yeah, exactly. No one's born with the great thing. Oh, this is what you do at a concert.
I don't know. Thu looks like... Thu, Gruff, Rob, they look like they were born to it.
Nah.
Rob especially was born to it.
Rob was born in a concert. Yeah, so that was... it was all controlled well. It went off really well. The lighting was amazing.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know if they're releasing video. I think there might be some stuff on YouTube already.
Officially from TFNation,
No.
though. This is still, I think this is still an issue that a lot of conventions have, at least Transformer-wise. They do these things, they do these panels, and they do nothing with them. Because they record the panels, don't
The
they?
problem is, though, is that if somebody's spending money to come to a convention...
Yes, like, should you give it away?
Yeah.
I would say, yes, a year later, yes. Because it doesn't, it's a year later.
Yeah,
no one's, I don't think anyone's going to feel cheated if they put it out a year later. The only people that will feel anything are the people that went, I went to that, I remember that, that was really good, I loved it.
You could argue that perhaps the a fair and smart way to do it might be to release it sort of like 6 months later when you try to jump up in conversation
Yes.
for your next convention.
Yeah,
maybe.
it's like, hey, do you guys remember this?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Do you want to hear Stan Bush talk smack about people in the 80s? Here we go.
Yeah, something like that would be nice to see.
Yeah.
But I mean, you make the fair point of maybe it's they don't want to feel cheat, and it does take up a lot of time to do something like that, because
especially do it properly. As we were talking about theory before, if you want to do something like that properly, it's really expensive.
Yes.
And it's really time consuming.
Yes.
And you wouldn't want to half-ass it.
No.
Because it makes you look cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I can understand the kind of drawbacks of not doing it. But yeah, it'd be nice to kind of like...
Because it'd be nice for us who have been there to be like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Especially if the alternative is someone's shakily held camera phone, which is just kind of like creating a bad kind of...
And obviously they're using the camera's microphone, which for the most part, it will never sound good because it's
completely washed out.
Yeah, it's sound coming through a speaker, which is never good to record it again, and then send out technically through another speaker for someone to listen to.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Stan Bush was trending on Twitter today.
Oh, good.
People did think he was dead.
Oh, okay.
Because Stan Bush pops up in your Twitter feed. What are you going to think? I understand that.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. Thankfully, people clicked on it and went, "Oh, he's playing concerts in the UK now. That's great." Yeah, that was definitely a highlight for me of this kind of weekend, just to see kind of like a professional sound system, a professional stage, professional lights, and it was truly impressive.
Yes.
It really was.
Yeah.
And just see that is achievable, that's kind of set a high mark.
Yeah.
So next year when we're playing and Knots and Crosses in there,
I think it shows that if they get Weird Al in the future, that they could easily do something like that for Weird Al.
I think the problem with Weird Al, again, I've talked about this with many people this weekend, that room only holds 650-ish people.
Sure.
If you get somebody who's really popular...
Oh, yeah, Weird Al would generate... I didn't even consider Weird Al would generate even more.
Exactly.
You
would get thousands of people to see Weird Al.
For some stupid reason, I thought he would generate less because he's not as prominent as Stan Bush as a Transformers singer.
Yeah.
But he's prominent as a singer.
Exactly. This is what you got to remember, is that you're putting on a concert, and if people like that artist, they would hear about it, and then suddenly we've got an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what an appropriately sized musical act would be. I doubt they would do it again.
No.
But if the right opportunity popped up, maybe.
Because I think, like, if they could do something with Weird Al and get him to be like, do you want to sing a few fucking songs? That would be good, because Weird Al, I'm sure, would draw in an extra crowd, or at least, at the very least, a small concert would easily be filled.
Yeah.
Easily. But it's not my fucking problem. I don't plan these things.
Well, yeah,
I'm just the guy in the background who goes, "You should do this."
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, again, would you want the money to be spent that way?
I don't know.
Or is there other things that you like to see?
I want to see Jeffrey Combs, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Why not? It's they can get Stan Bush.
Yeah,
maybe. I mean, it's a follow request.
It doesn't come down to what I want. It comes at the end of the day, it comes down to what will generate the most fan anticipation and excitement.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah, because you want to draw in the most amount of people. That's like, because if somebody said, "Do you want Stan Bush, Andy?" I go, "I don't really give a shit."
Yeah,
but clearly I would have been in the wrong there because it generated.
No, you're not in the wrong. You're just a person with your opinion, and that's not to say that there's not 300 people who think like you out there who would come to see somebody else.
Yeah, but you got to be like Stanley. Stan Bush is a safe bet to make a good con for people.
Yeah, I would totally agree, and I think that's why, whilst it's a gamble, I think it was a pretty safe gamble.
Yes.
And but I think Jeffrey Combs is much less complicated because you don't have to hire a band, and you don't have to hire a stage, and lighting.
But then he is still a moderately working actor.
Yeah.
So I think he's quite a lot anyway.
Yeah.
And obviously that's a problem. Like,
again, who knows?
That's the thing. Yeah.
I'm sure that conversations are being had with people, but I don't know anything.
Probably. No, you're too far down the ladder to know.
Nah, I don't know anything. I'm hoping to talk about Mark Hamill personally, but...
That would be cool. I doubt it. Do you remember doing Combine Awards? Titans Return? Yeah, it wasn't very good. No, I know, but...
I know, but we love it.
Yeah, do Joker. Do that Joker, lad.
See, I don't even go for the joke, but I'm just like, do Luke.
Do that Luke guy.
Can you just put shoulders... Just your shoulders off.
What was it like to have Dad with that robot breathing thing?
What's your
Darth Vader? No, Chewbacca.
What?
He had that breathing thing, didn't he?
What's Frank Oz really like?
Was he a cock?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that people are looking for feedback on guests that would like to see. That's certainly what they said in the kind of panel.
Yeah.
That if you've got a suggestion and hit them up, they can only say ha 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 ha. Are you mad?
Exactly. Yeah, that's a fair point.
I personally want Ralph. That's my writing thing.
From Turn and Burn.
Yeah.
Did he come this year? He didn't, did he?
Didn't see him.
That's a shame because he helped write the
He
Ladybird
did,
book.
yeah.
Guess
If
he
you're
doesn't
listening, TFN, give us Ralph.
Yeah, exactly. We demand a Ralph.
I actually like Tom Belong.
Right.
That's my actual serious answer to
That'd be
this.
fun. Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had a letterer.
No, I think. From the interview I heard him do with Mikey, he seems like a really cool guy. But I would like to see John Barber more.
Yeah, but I think John Barber's a very difficult ask.
He could have been a potential ask until he became the editor-in-chief again.
I don't think that was ever not the case. I think that was always the case behind the scenes. I think
No, because Chris Ryle was the editor-in-chief for,
So,
for
yeah,
the longest time.
yes, I think
So he could have. I think he could have
He
came
was
down
still-
when he was doing.
wasn't he
Optimus
head of
Prime.
story or something though?
I don't. Not when Chris Ryle was there. I don't think because he. He was.
Oh yes, he did do conventions for a bit, didn't
Yeah,
he?
he
Yes,
did it
you're
for a
right.
really small amount. He was a guy who couldn't do conventions because he was either an editor or he was very high up in the company.
Yes.
Then he swapped roles and became just focused on writing Optimus Prime.
That's correct.
And
yeah.
now Chris Ryle's gone. He's gone back up to that. I can't do anything now.
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
not allowed to.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, things like John Warden would be really interesting, but I don't think he's go at all.
No.
But it's maybe it is. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, again, that's not our problem.
I mean, to go back to what we talked about before, Hasbro UK, whose name the guy who's in charge of that, whose name I can never remember.
Yeah.
That'd be fascinating.
It could be, or it could be really depressing.
Well, maybe there's reasons,
Maybe.
and maybe if we understood those reasons, we'd stop being like, why is
Assholes
there
about
nothing in my Tesco's?
That's a thing. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Like.
I mean, maybe that's just a press release though, rather than a convention guest.
Yeah, because from a business standpoint and from the company standpoint of why we do this because this, and you go, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But from the customer's perspective, you go, oh, that's shit. Why you don't do this right? But if you knew, you'd be like, oh, okay. It's
I'm not happy,
great.
but I understand.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, for all we know, there's no market in the UK.
Yeah.
Everybody who's in that room are the people who are wearing Transformers.
Very possible.
Yeah.
But you know what, Tricky? I think this might be a good place to stop. We've been going for nearly an hour.
Yeah,
at
that
the
sounds about
moment,
right.
so-
I think we've kind of got the points across.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was good. We're tired. The bar's open.
Yeah, exactly. We've had fun. Tricky, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on the Welcome to Kimia podcast every week on the Old Royal House Network. I think it's oldroyalhouse.weebly.com, maybe.
You tell me.
Find us where our podcasts are made. You can find me on Twitter at Tricky1414. And that's about it.
Cool.
But where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me as Corporate Commander TFW in most places, as on YouTube, CCTFW on Twitter. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums, so on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, Patreon as Moonbase 2 for all those gubbins. And I think, ccbunko.weebly.com. And that's it. And I will still be under constant fear until I get home about how this sounds or if this is properly recorded. So that'll be fun. So until next time, everybody, me and Tricky will catch you laters.
You are now leaving Moonbase 2.